Hello everyone and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In the murky glow of the Los Angeles night, the city buzzed with its typical tumult, but a different kind of storm was developing within the high-security walls of the California Women's Correctional Facility. Luna Nozawa's once vibrant spirit, hardened by months of incarceration, peered at the damaged roof of her cell. The air was thick with the smell of bleach and regret, but tonight, something else lingered: freedom. Her escape plan, patiently prepared over weeks of hushed chats and bribed guards, was finally put into action. The clock on the wall ticked past midnight, and Luna's heart beat with a combination of fear and excitement. She was exiting. And when she did, she had only one name in mind: Electra Forrester. Electra, the woman who had taken everything from her: her independence, dignity, and place in the world. It all began with that tragic confrontation at the Forrester Creations office, in which accusations flew like daggers. Luna had been framed, or so she thought, for crimes she had not committed, all because Electra's jealousy had turned the truth into a noose around her neck. The bold and the beautiful world of fashion, family, and betrayal had turned against her, with Electra acting as the puppet master. But Luna was no longer the innocent girl who had entered the prison gates. She was a force, honed by seclusion and driven by rage. The guard on duty that night was new, inexperienced, and readily swayed by the amount of cash Luna's outside accomplice had handed him. As the lights lowered for the evening count, Luna inserted a makeshift key, made from a stolen spoon and infinite patience, into the lock of her cell. Click. The sound was quiet, but it rang through her soul like a gunshot. She walked like a shadow, her jail sneakers silent on the chilly linoleum floor. Down the corridor, past the snoozing inmates, to the maintenance door leading to the washing room. Her contact, Rita, a former cellmate who had been paroled weeks before, waited in the shadows with a change of clothes and a getaway car idling just beyond the fence. Luna's thoughts turned back to the trial. Electra took the stand, her eyes wide with feigned innocence, repeating lies that portrayed Luna as a monster. "She threatened me," Electra remarked, her voice wavering before the jurors. "She said she'd ruin me if I didn't stay away from Finn." Finn, the psychiatrist John Finnegan, is trapped in the web of their rivalry. Luna had once loved him, or believed she did, but Electra had dug her claws deeper, making love a battlefield. The judge's gavel fell like thunder, condemning Luna to years in prison for assault and attempted murder, charges as phony as the Forrester family's smiles. But now, as Luna scaled the fence with Rita's assistance and the barbed wire ripped at her flesh, freedom tasted like blood and revenge. She fell to the other side, rolling on the ground, her breath coming in quick spurts. Rita yanked her up and shoved a hoodie over her head. "Hurry," Rita whispered. "The alarms will go off any second." They dashed to the automobile, a plain sedan hidden in the brush. Luna climbed into the passenger seat, her hands quivering as Rita pressed the throttle. Sirens sounded in the distance, but they had already merged onto the highway, the prison receding in the rearview mirror. Luna's first stop was neither a safe home nor a hideout. No, her mind was completely focused. Electra resided in the huge Forrester estate, surrounded by luxury and falsehoods. Luna recognized the pattern from brief times in Finn's arms when things were easier. The guest house in the back, the pool where secrets were spoken, and the main house where Ridge and Brooke Forrester pretended to be the perfect marriage. Electra had moved in following the scandal, seeking refuge with her family. But sanctuary would not save her tonight. As the automobile drove into the night, Luna worked out her plan. Rita had given her a knife, a burner phone, and a map. "You're crazy," Rita stated earlier, but her eyes were filled with respect. "Electra deserves it," Luna responded. And she did. For every tear Luna spent in solitary prison, for every nightmare about Electra's smug expression, justice required blood. As they approached Bel Air, the city lights blurred. Rita dropped her off a block away from the estate, not wanting to come too close. "Call if you need extraction," Rita instructed, but Luna shook her head. This was personal. No backups or witnesses. She pulled the hoodie low over her face and put the knife into her waistband. The Forrester gates loomed ahead, fortified but not impenetrable. Luna had observed enough of the family's drama from a distance to know that security codes changed infrequently. Arrogance breeds complacency. She ascended the side wall, using a tree as leverage, her muscles aching from disuse, but fueled by adrenaline. She landed lightly on the manicured lawn and slipped toward the guest house. The lights were on, and Electra was at home. Luna's heartbeat thundered in her ears. Peering through the glass, she noticed her, Electra, reclining on the couch in silk pajamas, scrolling through her phone, oblivious to the approaching storm. Luna's hand clutched the knife's handle. Memories poured back. The party where Electra laced her drink, resulting in the blackout that blamed her for the attack on Poppy. During the hospital visits, Electra whispered poison into Finn's ears. The courtroom where Electra gave her testimony sealed her doom. "You're psycho," Electra had called her. Tonight, Luna would accept the label. She circled around to the back door, jimmying the latch with the credit card Rita had given her. Old tricks from old friends. The door cracked open, and Luna crept inside. The mansion smelled of lavender and privilege. Electra's voice wafted from the living room, singing along to a pop song. Luna glided silently, her shadow dissolving into the darkness. Electra turned as Luna entered the light. Her eyes widened in shock, and the phone slipped from her grasp. "Luna? How, you're in prison?" "Not anymore," Luna said, her voice low and angry. Her knife glittered as she raised it. Electra scrambled back, knocking over a smashed vase on the floor. "Wait. This is insane. You escaped? They'll catch you." "Let them," Luna answered, moving forward. "After I'm done with you." Electra's mind raced. She had always been the schemer, manipulating from behind the scenes, but when confronted with genuine rage, she was outmatched. "It wasn't just me," she said. "Steffi knew. Ridge covered it up. Blame them." "Liar," Luna spat. However, a germ of mistrust sowed itself. Electra's cousin, Steffi Forrester, had always disliked Luna. Was this more than one woman's jealousy? The altercation immediately escalated. Electra grabbed for a lamp, swinging it like a weapon, but Luna dodged and slashed away with the knife. It caught Electra's arm and drew blood. She yelled, piercing the night. Luna grabbed her mouth and dragged her to the bedroom. "You took everything from me," Luna said vehemently. "My life, my future. Now I take yours." But Electra fought back, kneeing Luna in the gut. They collapsed to the ground, fighting in a flurry of limbs and fury. The knife skittered around the carpet. Electra grabbed for it, but Luna pinned her down with her hands around her throat. "Any last words?" Luna said, growling. Electra gasped, her face becoming red. "Finn, he never loved you. It was always me." The words landed like a slap, but Luna hugged harder. Her mind was filled with visions of Finn's face, stolen kisses, and broken promises. Electra's eyes widened, and her struggles weakened. Suddenly, headlights shone through the glass. An automobile pulls up. Voices, Ridge and Brooke, returning from a late meal. Luna froze. If they found her now, it would be over. She released Electra, who choked and wheezed before snatching the knife. "You bitch," Electra said, swinging violently. Luna ducked and bolted for the rear door. She dashed into the night, her pulse racing, as shouts erupted from the main house. "Electra? What happened?" she exclaimed, scrambling over the wall again, ripping her hands raw. Rita's car was gone, and she was on her own. Sirens in the distance getting closer now. The prison break alarm must have spread widely. Luna withdrew into the darkness of LA's underworld, her plot foiled but her will unwavering. Electra survived, at least for the time being. But this was only the beginning. The bold and the beautiful saga has a new chapter filled with blood and betrayal. Luna hid in a rundown motel off Sunset Boulevard, bandaging her wounds and planning her next move. The news blared on the television. A Escaped convict Luna Nozawa at large after assault on Electra Forrester. Photos of her prison mugshot were shown beside Electra's wounded arm in a hospital bed, milking sympathy. She knew Finn was going to come looking. Their twisted connection attracted him like a magnet. And when he did, Luna would be prepared. Electra's survival was a setback rather than a defeat. Days turned into a cat-and-mouse game. Luna painted her hair black, wore sunglasses, and glided through the city like a ghost. She saw the Forrester empire from afar, Forrester Creations, where designs flew off the racks amidst the turmoil, the cliffs, where secrets were buried, and Il Giardino, the restaurant where alliances changed with each meal. Electra, recovering in the mansion, was paranoid. Guards have been posted, and the alarms have been updated. But Luna remained patient. She halted a delivery van, pretending as staff, and slipped a message into Electra's handbag during a fitting. "I'm coming for you. Sleep with one eye open." Electra freaked out and told Steffi. "She's insane. We have to stop her." Steffi, always the protector, roused the family. "Luna is a threat to all of us. We must end this." However, Luna also had allies. Her mother, Poppy, who had been released on bail for related charges, contacted her through a back route. "Baby, come home. We can fight this legally." "No, Mom," Luna said in an encrypted call. "Legal got me locked up. This is war." The tension rose like a storm over the Pacific. Finn, torn between his wife Steffi and his affections for Luna, paid Electra a visit. "Tell me the truth," he commanded. "Did you frame her?" Electra's eyes filled with crocodile tears. "How can you ask that? After everything?" Finn questioned. Doubts gnawed at him. Luna's opportunity arose at the annual Forrester Gala, which celebrates the company's latest product range. Security was tight, but confusion was her ally. She entered the venue disguised as a caterer, a magnificent hall full of champagne and egos. Electra, dressed in a gorgeous gown, posed for photographs with her arm in a sling for dramatic effect. Luna watched from the kitchen, knife concealed in her apron. Luna moved as the darkness drew in. She cornered Electra in a corridor away from the crowd. "Time's up," Electra exclaimed, her eyes gleaming with panic. "Please, Luna. We can talk." "Talk." Luna chuckled cruelly. "You talked your way into my cell." They struggled again and crashed against a crystal table. Glasses smashed, alarming the guests. Ridge burst in. "Luna!" She bolted through a side door and into the parking lot. Cars honked and lights flashed. Someone had tipped off the police, so they were on their way. But Luna departed into the night, leaving Electra shocked but unharmed. Again, the chase increased. Bill Spencer, a media tycoon with a soft flair for drama, splashed the story across headlines. Prison escapee targets Forrester heiress. Luna went underground, reconnecting with old friends from her wilder years. She discovered truths. Electra had paid off witnesses and manufactured evidence with the help of Sheila Carter's lingering influence. Sheila, the ultimate villain, was imprisoned herself, yet her tentacles extended far. Luna, armed with evidence, considered exposure versus murder. But wrath prevailed. She has to pay personally. The climax came at the cabin in Big Bear, where Electra had gone for safety. Luna followed, the snow crackling beneath her boots. Inside, Electra had secluded herself, phone in hand. "Stay back," Luna said as she kicked open the door. "No more running." The final confrontation was nasty. Fists, words, and accusations. "You stole my life," Luna exclaimed. "I protected my family," Electra responded. They wrestled on the stairs and tumbled down in a heap. Luna took a fireplace poker and raised it high. But Finn burst through the door. "Luna, stop."
She paused.
"She ruined us." "No," Finn responded quietly. "Hate did." As Electra crawled away, Luna dropped the poker. Tears poured. "It's over." Police surrounded her and handcuffed her. Luna turned to look at Electra as they brought her away. "This isn't the end." After being returned to custody, Luna's story became legendary in the bold and the beautiful lore, a tale of escape, retribution, and the fine line between love and obsession. Electra, scarred but victorious, resolved to rebuild. But during the peaceful nights, she double-checked the locks. The fashion world moved on, but the shadows remained. Luna's cell was the same, but her spirit remained intact. New plots emerged. Vengeance, like fashion, remained timeless. Luna hurried across her dimly lit living room, fingers quivering as she touched the corners of her phone screen. The message still blazed back at her, flashing like a quiet alarm she couldn't turn off. Electra had escaped. Those 2 words gutted her out, filled her with a panic she hadn't felt since Electra was handcuffed and hauled away. Luna had a delicate sense of safety surround her for weeks after her imprisonment, a protective bubble she attempted to tell herself was permanent. The bubble had burst, leaving her exposed, raw, and shaking. She breathed shakily. Her heartbeat was irregular, fluttering with a terror she struggled to control. She couldn't allow herself break apart just now, when she needed to think. Electra was violent, unpredictable, and driven by resentments that blazed hotter than fire. She had never forgiven Luna for testifying against her, and the trial just fueled her animosity. If Electra was out, Luna knew she would come for her. The house seemed too quiet. Every creak in the wood, every hum from the refrigerator, and every distant sound outside made Luna flinch. She approached the window, pulled away the curtain just enough to see through. The street was vacant, drenched in the pale glow of the streetlights, but it did not calm her. Electra might be anywhere, hiding in the shadows, plotting her strategy, relishing the horror she knew Luna would be drowning in. Luna's breath fogged the glass. She wanted to run, but where? Electra was always successful in obtaining her desired outcome. Even when they were younger, Electra had a predatory instinct. She knew where to look, what to exploit, and who to manipulate. And Luna had been one of the many drawn to Electra's odd charisma until the day she saw through the facade. She jumped in response to a movement behind her. She spun around, muscles tense, only to find her distorted reflection on the darkened TV screen. "Calm down," she said to herself, her voice shaking. "You're fine. Just think. Think." But the ideas that followed were dark, swirling, and impossible to stop. Electra, with her wild eyes and piercing smile. Electra vowed vengeance through clenched teeth as she was pushed into the squad car. Electra, sneaking between prison bars like smoke, returns to settle all old scores. A shiver went up Luna's spine. Her phone buzzed again, and she gasped. She grabbed it with shaking fingers. A voicemail with no caller ID. She froze. Her thumb hovered above the screen. Every instinct told her not to listen, but the stillness seemed worse. She pressed play. A slight crackling filled her ear, followed by steady breathing, too slow and purposeful. Then came a voice that was as sweet as silk but twice as poisonous. "Do you miss me, Luna?" The phone fell from Luna's grasp. It landed on the floor with a dull thump that seemed unreasonably loud. She could hardly breathe. That voice, the sarcastic cadence, the chilly calmness. It was not a matter of imagination. It was not paranoia. Electra had already reached out. Luna backed backward, hitting the edge of a table. Her thoughts raced. She needed to contact someone, the cops, a friend, someone. But would anyone take her seriously? Electra had escaped only an hour ago. How could Luna establish that the message was not a prank? Even if she did, would anyone arrive in time? She pushed her palm on her forehead. The panic was making her dizzy. She moved to the kitchen, splashing water on her face and grasping the sink's edge to force herself to breathe. Cold water helped, but not enough. Her thoughts refused to rest. Electra was not the type to tease from afar. The message was not intended to scare her. Rather, it was intended to announce her presence, similar to a predator informing its prey that the hunt has begun. Luna dried her face as her jaw tightened. She was not going to be hunted. Not again. Not by Electra. A fire flashed inside her, small at first, frail like a candle flame, but quickly spreading. She'd spent years being scared of Electra's rage, her unpredictable moods, and the power she'd wielded over her life. Luna swore she'd never let Electra dominate her again after testifying in court, which was the first true act of disobedience in their toxic relationship. That vow flooded back through her suddenly. Electra wanted Luna to cower. She wanted Luna to tremble. But Luna had learned a crucial lesson throughout the trial. Monsters only have power when they are allowed to. She pushed back from the sink. No more running. No more hiding. If Electra won a confrontation, Luna would be prepared for her. She was determined to break the cycle once and for all, even if it required doing something she had never thought she could do. She went into her bedroom and unlocked the old wooden trunk at the foot of the bed. A little metal lockbox lay buried beneath blankets and a stack of old pictures. She paused for only a moment before pulling it out. Her hands were no longer shaking. The key was already on her necklace. With a click, the box opened. Inside was the object she prayed she'd never need again, a sleek, chilly revolver wrapped in fabric. It belonged to her father and was passed down as a form of protection, but Luna had never chosen to accept that tradition. She lifted it cautiously, the weight strange but anchoring. Her heartbeat remained steady. She checked the ammunition, it was full. She closed the box, tucked it away, and placed the gun in her backpack. She then sat down on the bed, her breathing regular, her thoughts focusing on a single, unshakable truth. If Electra came for her, Luna would not hesitate. She would survive. And Electra would not. The minutes passed agonizingly slowly. Luna's muscles tensed with each sound, a distant car engine, a neighbor's door, a whisper of wind outdoors. She positioned herself near the window, remaining out of sight while observing the street below. She had no idea when Electra would strike, but she knew it wouldn't take long. Electra didn't linger or delay. She attacked quickly and decisively. Luna's phone buzzed again, this time with a text. She forced herself to look. "Isn't it a beautiful night?" Luna gulped hard. Her anxiety did not completely vanish. That would have been impossible, but it became sharper. Something concentrated. She typed back with precision. "Come find me." She pressed send before she could overthink it. Her heart pounded, but she did not regret it. If Electra was stalking her from the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike, Luna was taking advantage of it. She was calling Electra out. She is forcing her hand. Silence extended once more. 5 minutes.
10.
15. Luna's breath became shallower, and her nerves tightened with each passing second. She stepped away from the window and paced again, her hand never leaving the bag containing the gun. Then she overheard it. No knock, no crash, just a slight scratch against the back door. A sound subtle enough to be overlooked, yet evil enough to chill her veins. Luna went carefully into the hallway, each step calculated. She could hear breathing from the other side of the door.
Slow.
Intentional.